That photo means a lot, to be honest, because growing up in a place like Gelsenkirchen in Germany, where you have no choice rather than growing up with football, because it's an area in Germany, you know, where football is maybe the most important thing in life, not just for kids and teenagers, even for adults, you know. I kind of feel fortunate that I had the privilege to be born in such a city, such an area, because that brought me to football at the end of the day as well. Obviously, as someone growing up in Germany in a Turkish family, everyone has a Turkish club, and my club always was Galatasaray, and I grew up, you know, with watching the games, with buying shirts, with having all different kind of merchandise, you know. Yeah, I was a great fan, you know, and growing up, remembering the UEFA Cup win in 2000 as an example, you know, watching with the whole family in front of the TV, crying, people crying, being into each other's arms, you know, and hugging each other. Obviously it meant a lot to us as a family, first of all, but then obviously to me as well. And yeah, this made me at the end also the football player that I am today. And I feel very, very lucky that I am, you know, wearing that shirt right now, and I'm able to represent, you know, that amazing club. Yes, I think I achieved one of my biggest childhood dreams, because when you grow up with watching a certain team, you know, that football club, idolizing the players that play for the club, growing up with all the memories connected to the club. Obviously, when you get a bit older, you know, and start playing football yourself, and maybe at a certain level as well, you kind of imagine maybe and dream about it to play one day, you know, for that team and for that club. And now, you know, wearing that shirt, playing in that stadium in front of these amazing fans, in such a great competition also like the Champions League right now. It's maybe not even something that I dreamed about when I was young, because it was so far away and maybe so not realistic. But sitting here right now today, you know, and having achieved that, it means a lot. I think you need to go very far back to understand it maybe, because, you know, like I kind of also had no choice than having football 24 hours in my life, because when I was 3 years old, my parents brought me to the local football club and signed me up, and I straight away started, you know. I was just walking, and, you know, like I was not even able to think, and I don't even remember it anymore, but I started already playing football in a league that they called Pampers League back then. And obviously since that age, football was always a part of my life, you know, and the older I got, the bigger that part would be. Yeah, that it caused at the end for me to be the character and to have the personality that I have. I made probably my best friends also in some sort of way through football. I've met amazing people. I achieved a lot of great things in my life because of football. And yeah, I just feel that I'm very privileged, you know, and the game itself just means a lot to me, you know, and I love to play, I love to watch, I love to think about football. The good and the bad parts, to be honest, because obviously sometimes, I don't know, when things maybe don't go the way you want, I don't know, or you have defeats or injuries or something, obviously even then you take it also back home, you know, and you think about it. And I catch myself sometimes in the night, I lie in bed and I start to think, you know, and sometimes you're not able to sleep and my family is wondering what's going on with you, you know, and you just start overthinking stuff. But I think that's also in some way the beautiful part of it, because at the end it's a big passion, you know, and it's something that you love so much, that you care so much about, that it's constantly around you 24 hours. For me to have a family, to get married, to have kids, you know, it was always in some sort of way, obviously, the sense of life, you know. I always wanted that, you know, for myself. And you can imagine that kids are probably the most beautiful thing in life, you know, and it's something that you can pass on to your kids, you know, and you can educate them, and you can leave something in this world, you know, when you are maybe one day not here anymore. So, and try to make the world a little bit of a better place, you know. That's a little bit for me how I see life in general, you know, and that's how I try to educate my kids, obviously, as well. And of course, I have one boy right now, and I would love him to be also into football. And I take him sometimes here to the training ground with myself. I play football at home with him. We watch together games, and so far he likes it. And I don't know. Of course, I would wish him also, you know, to have to create that passion in football. Obviously, the family has a big influence on my life as well, you know, and is the main priority for me. The family, their support also means everything to me, you know, and without their support, I could not do it. I could not do what I am doing. They give me the strength, they give me the belief, you know, in difficult moments. And I think everyone needs his family around him, you know, to be successful in his job, but then also ultimately, of course, happy in his life. My first Champions League game must have been with Dortmund in 2012. I don't remember exactly anymore which game it was, almost 14 years ago. I don't know, for me the Champions League was always something special, you know, since I was a child and watching in front of TV, you know, midweek games in the night, watching the best players in the world playing against each other. It was always just special to watch, and then obviously having the privilege to play it meant even more, you know. And I still see it like that, to be honest with you. I still get goosebumps, you know, when I know it's a Champions League game, you know, and you walk out to the pitch and you play this biggest competition in club football, you know, that you have, and compete with the best players and best teams in the world. I still see it the same way, and that's probably why I never got enough of it. I will probably never get enough of it, because I guess it's the most beautiful competition to play as a football player, you know. And since I've played also that first final in 2013 with Dortmund, and I lost it, you know, I was chasing to get again in the final, you know, and trying to win and to lift that trophy. It was just meant to be, I think, also for me personally, that I was able, after two finals that I've lost previously, to lift that Champions League trophy in 2023, you know, as a captain also of Man City in Istanbul. I think the story for me personally could have not been better. And yeah, it's probably one of the biggest dreams that I had in my life, you know, also. To achieve that Champions League trophy. I feel very privileged that I was able to name those great coaches, maybe the two, arguably under the greatest coaches ever, I think. To have been able to work with them is a huge privilege for me, and I feel very grateful because I've learned a lot of things, you know, from both. Obviously working for 4 years with Gheorghe in Dortmund. He probably was the coach that, you know, like at the end brought me to a certain level, you know, that I was able to compete, on the highest level with world-class football players, and obviously winning also with him in Dortmund a few trophies. Was a good start for me, you know, for my international career, if you want to say so. And then, funnily, also playing against him, you know, with Pep then at Man City against his Liverpool side, was also a nice coincidence, you know. Obviously, as you said before, two kind of different ways of playing style, but still two great personalities, you know, and as I said before, two of the best coaches probably that game ever had. Until today, I still am in great touch with both of them, and I respect both of them a lot, and I respect also the impact that they had on my personal career. I can only say good things about them, and I'm very happy, and I feel very privileged that I had the opportunity to work with them both. I think it's it's about leading by example, you know. And I like to lead through actions, with things that I'm doing on the pitch, especially, and try to have a big impact with my movements, you know, with helping my teammates out. And I think also that I understand that, especially in a competition like the Champions League, I think you can only be successful if you play as a team and if everyone, you know, is connected on the pitch defensively and offensively, because there are so many really good and great teams out there that are very well organized. You know, they are aggressive, they are motivated. It's not just about individual quality, you know. And I love to watch my teammates. I love to watch what they are doing and adapt my own movements to them, you know, by trying to support them. And I think also this is my responsibility as an experienced player, because I know also how to increase the chances of winning by helping them out, you know, because it's not about me, you know. I think I was so successful in my career and I achieved so many things because first I played with great players, I had great managers, but also because we were always able to filter our greatness individually into a team greatness. And I think that's when it comes, you know, I think that's about when it comes to enjoying also the football that you're playing. And obviously I still want to enjoy, you know, I want to have fun. I want to have fun and enjoy with my teammates, with my coaches, with the fans, with the supporters, you know, because we are all in this together. And I try to always look at the whole picture, you know, and not just me individually, what I am doing, you know. No, that's not really how I am. I love to watch my teammates next to me. I love to try to give them instructions so they do things better, you know, and they support each other. And again, in the Champions League organization, I think as a team is very important. Obviously, it was a great feeling for me to come back to Manchester, you know, play against that still really good City side, you know, and full of quality, one of the best teams in the world, you know, one of the contenders every year for the Champions League title as well. And obviously we all knew that it's going to be a tough game for us. It was about playing together as a team, you know, and try to keep the game open as long as possible and try to have a good performance. Unfortunately, we lost. We didn't get anything out of the game, but I think there were a few aspects, you know, that we could take on for the next very important game against Juventus, you know. It's all, I think, it's all an experience, you know, for us as a team together, because we still have many players, you know, that play maybe their first, second years, you know, in this in the Champions League in general. So we need to collect all these memories together, you know, and learn from them, learn from our mistakes, learn from the things that we do good to do better next time, and use it, you know. And it was great to see old teammates, to see my old manager, you know, and to experience that moment, that 90 minutes also in that stadium, especially also as a captain, you know, having the privilege to wear the captain's armband first time for Galatasaray. I mean, you can imagine how proud of a moment that was, you know, and how happy I was when the manager also told me, you know. I feel very grateful for that. And now it's about, you know, not forgetting the games that we've played, especially maybe the good ones also, to take out the good things that we need to beat a really good Juventus as well, because the more you proceed in the Champions League, the tougher it gets, obviously, you know, and the opponents get stronger, and everyone is good already in general. But now from this stage, it's the knockout stage, you know, and it's every game is like a final. So that's how we need to see it as well. And we know that with Juventus now, a really good team is expecting us. But we're also confident that we can achieve really good things as a team together, and that we are able to beat them. So this is the target, and hopefully we will have, first of all, a really good performance, because if we have a really good performance, our chances of having a really good result will be automatically higher, and we can proceed to the next round.